What's going on, you guys? It's been your boy Scott, and we're here for another review of The Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 12. I don't remember what episode this is, child, but we're going to get right on into this shit, shall we? So, Nene and Greg, they sit down and talk together, and we already know what Greg has been through over the last year. This time last year, we was all worried about Greg. We didn't know if he was going to make it through the cancer and everything like that, but Greg is feeling good and he's looking good. So, good things for Greg. So, Nene basically fills him in about what happened on the Greece trip. And as usual, Nene is talking about Kenya. You know, that's all she has to talk about. Because, you know, everybody want to give Nene all of this praise and all of this stuff and make it sound like she got the storyline of the year when the bitch barely been on the goddamn show. And on top of that, every time she's in the scene, she's talking about Kenya. She can't do nothing without talking about that bitch. It don't make no sense. And what really killed me was that she was talking about, I don't really dislike Kenya like that. I just be petty because that bitch be petty with me. How old are we again? Aren't you in your 50s? Like, girl, I'm 31 years old and I don't do shit like that with motherfuckers I don't fuck with like that. Like, are you serious? Like, I could give a fuck about what they do. If motherfuckers want to be petty towards me, they can be. Like, it's motherfuckers I used to fuck with that have been petty towards me. Like, have really sat up there and said a bunch of bullshit that ain't fucking true. And I have gracefully paid they asses the fuck dust. I have done that. I have not said a fucking word. And I won't say shit unless I'm pushed or unless I feel like I'm forced to. I'm never going to sit up and constantly be talking about a motherfucker I don't like. For what? The fuck I'm talking about them for? I'm not going to give them nobody. Fuck I'm talking about them for. I'm not going to give nobody all of that, all of my energy, and I don't even like them like that. What the fuck is it? Like, so really you're mad about that damn Instagram game when she said, call Portia, text Andy, delete Nene. Then you want to sit up here and say that you didn't call her baby a buffalo, but you were. I don't care how many times Team Nene want to flip it up, smack it up, and rub it the fuck down. You know what you said. At the end of the day, you said, is she having a buffalo? What do you mean, is she having a buffalo? She's having a baby. So if you're saying she's having a buffalo, you're referring to her child as a damn buffalo. Just say it was a poor choice of words and keep it moving. Like, Nene don't never want to admit when she's wrong. And that's why a lot of you people that is on Team Nene always want to get mad at a motherfucker like me because I call it out. At the end of the day, I'm going to keep calling it out. She's full of it. She's always the problem. She's never the problem. She's always the victim. Somebody always starts something with her. But she has been into it with just about every single person that's been on this show. Should we make a list? Kim, Sheree, Candy, Cynthia, Kenya, Eva, Tanya, Portia, Marlo. Okay? All of these people. And you mean to tell me that you're never the problem? You're never the reason? Girl, please, okay? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm not even trying to hear that. So, Candy is about to prepare to go to Chicago so she can film The Shy. And, you know, it's just basically about her not being able, it's not really not being able, but having an issue with juggling everything at one time. Because she got Bedroom Candy, she got The Housewives of Atlanta, she got The Shy, she got OLG, she got a lot of stuff going on, and they're worried about whether she's going to be back in time for the baby to get here. And, you know, she said she's going to make sure she's back here for the baby or whatever. And I know a lot of people be getting on Candy because she's never home, but at the same time, I can't do nothing but respect her for being a go-getter. And sometimes, a lot of the times when you are a go-getter and you're trying to make life better for you and your family and you're trying to work hard to make sure your family is straight, sometimes you're not going to be around your kids like that. And I see that a lot of the celebrity women are always being deemed bad mothers because they're not around their kids as often as my mother was around me and my siblings. But we have to understand they're not regular people like we are. They have to, what they do requires them to be away from their children. That doesn't make them bad parents. That means they're out there getting it how they live. They're trying to make that money. And Candy is a businesswoman. And she's trying to look out for the business. She's trying to make sure there's money involved for her family and everything like that. And I cannot see anybody being mad with that. But at the same time, when you got all this going on, it's best that you don't have any more kids. I mean, Ace was enough. You don't need another one. You know what I mean? So I think that her problem is she doesn't have the correct balance, and she needs to find it. That's all I'm saying. So Nene comes. So we over here with Nene, and Cynthia comes over. She's dressed like Nene, and you know, Nene and Cynthia were having a great time. And to be honest, although for years I've criticized Nene and Cynthia's relationship, I do see that they do have fun together. And Nene and Cynthia are a cackle in this scene. And not only are they a cackle, it's clear that they have a lot of fun together and they have a lot of chemistry together as friends. And when she did Nene's when she started acting like Nene, I'm like, yeah, bitch, you got your slave master correct, okay? You know you got her down pat, and Nene couldn't do nothing but laugh. But in the midst of them having their little fun, Portia pulls up, and I thought that was funny when Portia pulled up, and she was like, oh, so y'all having secret meetings and stuff? When am I going to get an invite? You know, that was kind of funny between the three of them. And honestly, I don't like Nene, and I don't like Portia, and I don't really care for Cynthia like that, but the three of them have great chemistry, too. And it would be, what if they had that same energy between the three of them all damn season? That would have been a joy to watch. But instead we got this draining ass bullshit with Nene and Kenya to look forward to all goddamn season. But child, whatever. In the midst of it, Portia invites them to her charity event that she's doing, and they both agree to go. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. Kenya meets up with this estate person, and now that she's going through her divorce with Mark, she wants to make sure everything is safe, everything is protected. Because at the end of the day, when you're a woman that makes a lot of money and you have a man that makes a lot of money, there's no prenup. You have to make sure that everything is correct, everything is safe, and everything is protected. You don't want to be like Mary J. Blige and pay for a man for the rest of your damn life. You don't want to do that. And that's one thing that I'm afraid of when it comes down to marriages. Like, okay, like, what if I make it big and I marry this man or whatever, and then things don't work out, then I gotta pay this man all the money that I ever earned on my own? You know what I mean? Like, that's one thing that I'm afraid of. But I have this different outlook on life these days. Like, it doesn't matter how many times I get burned in relationships, there is some type of hope and optimism about love and relationships, and that one day I will have the relationship that I want and maybe have the marriage that I want. Now, I don't want the family, but I do want the love and the marriage and the imperfect relationship, because I don't want a perfect relationship. That's not realistic. I want something that's real. But that's another story for another video. But she just want to make sure everything is set. If something ever happens to her, she don't want Mark to have no control. She's going to leave it to her Aunt Lisa. And I wonder why she's not doing it with her Aunt Lori. But maybe because her Aunt Lori is older than older than this particular aunt. So that's probably why she left it to her. You know what I mean? So Eva, EBT Eva, I ain't seen her all season. And she's back. Doing what? I don't know. Like, why is she back? Like, a lot of y'all didn't like Shamari, but I felt like she would have been better to keep instead of Eva, but whatever. Anyway, Cynthia fills Eva in on the Greece trip, and she basically tells her everything that went down between everybody, and then, you know, she filled her in on the Nene and Kenya shit. You know, she told her how Nene tried to spit on Kenya, and, you know, Eva was like, you know, that shit right there, that's when you're supposed to throw hands, and that is true. You're supposed to throw hands when a bitch be trying to, you know, spit on you, sneeze on you, all the other shit. That is something that you do. That is something that you throw hands about, like, for real, for real. But she did say that Nene and Portia kumbaya, and so the trip didn't really turn out to be that fucking bad at the end of the day. It's time for Portia's charity event, and all the ladies are there, and, you know, they're gonna be telling stories and shit like that. And in between time, before the event started, Nene starts talking to Portia and Tanya about what the blog said about Kenya's divorce and how Mark was cheating on her. And Nene was like, you know what? It's funny how she was trying to bring the cookie lady in front of Tanya and do all that shit that she did. So Tanya gone on to get the bitch that Mark was cheating on Kenya with and sit her right there in front of Kenya. And to be quite honest, I don't agree with Nene on much, but that shit is true. Kenya need to see that shit again, point blank period, because the way she did Tanya was dead ass wrong. Now, out of all things that Kenya could do wrong, that shit was wrong. And it was just bullified. And I didn't like that shit at all. It was wrong. It was wrong, 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 wrong. It was wrong as fuck. So all the ladies started telling their stories. And the one that stood out to me was Marlo, when she was telling us how she had 2 ectopic pregnancies. And my mother had an ectopic pregnancy. My mother was actually supposed to have 5 of us. She's supposed to have 5 of us. There was a child that was born between my sister and brother. And it was by my father, me and my sister's fathers. And from what my mother told me, she was like pregnant in one tube and the tube ruptured inside of her, and she could have died the next day if they didn't do any surgery or something like that. So I know what ectopic pregnancy is, and this shit is crazy. So it makes sense as to why Marlo doesn't have any kids. And I feel bad for her. And you know, she was like, maybe God won't give me any kids for this particular reason, because I got my nieces and my nephew, and I'm caring for them, and it could be why I don't have my own kids. And that made me look at Marlo in a different light. And I feel like, okay, maybe we should give Marlo a peach at this point. Because now she's showing that there's more to her than the shit that she's been doing for the last couple of years. So now it's like, okay, she's opening up a little bit more. So maybe we should give her a chance. Tamia tells her story about Shia and all of that stuff with the C-section and how her water broke. And Kenya starts telling the story about how Shamia texted her when her water broke, and she didn't know where Portia was. She thinks that Portia was at work at the time, and when it came out that Shamia texted Kenya, Portia was pissed. Okay, like you could tell her ass was pissed, and Twitter was also pissed as well. And I don't understand why y'all mad. My thing is, why are y'all mad that Shamia reached out to Kenya while she was pregnant? At the end of the day, they were pregnant at the same time. Let's be real. They were pregnant at the same time. And on top of that, they had started getting cool. And contrary to what we all believe, you know, I'm not a fan of Kenya's, but a lot of them say Kenya is a good friend off the camera. So that could be why Shamia felt comfortable enough to reach out to her when she was going through her pregnancy or whatever. And Portia could really shut the fuck up, honestly, talking about she didn't know that her and Kenya was that close. Who the fuck cares? Because at the end of the day, she shouldn't even be fucking with you. Okay? Like, everybody want to call. Like, the only reason why I'm going in like this, because I was seriously annoyed with people on Twitter tonight going in on Shamia because she decided to reach out to Kenya, calling her a fake ass friend and how she's a snake. Ain't Portia the snake? Because then Portia choose fucking Phaedra over goddamn Shamia and co-signed a lie that Phaedra told on her. So y'all can really just move on to that. Portia lucky the bitch still friends with her, because I wouldn't be friends with that bitch. So y'all, fuck, I'm not even gonna stay on this because I know how the fuck y'all are, so I'm not even gonna stay on it. Kenya have a conversation with her auntie Lisa about her situation with Mark and how she didn't expect it to be that way. But the best thing that she got out of this is her daughter Brooklyn. And I know that a lot of people don't feel no type of sympathy for Kenya. But what's really crazy to me is everybody wants to talk about what she's done. But y'all can show sympathy for bitches like Phaedra and Portia. These are 2 bitches that sit up there and said somebody tried to drug somebody and all of this other shit. Like, y'all can get over that. Y'all even want them 2 to be back on the show and shit like that. Like, y'all can get over that. But when they going through stuff, y'all can overlook the heinous shit that they fucking done and feel some sympathy for them. But y'all can't sit up and feel any type of sympathy for Kenya just because of some shit that she did in her past. I get it, but why don't y'all have that same energy for everybody else? Just say y'all don't fucking like Kenya and y'all glad that she going through the shit and that's that, because I don't even like Kenya like that. But I can sit up and I can sympathize because I know what it's like to be with someone and it turns out not being the way that you thought it was or the way that you wanted it to be. Like, it's called being human at the end of the day. If y'all can sit up there and coddle bitches like Portia and Phaedra after they sit up there and accuse somebody of a damn megawatt lie, then y'all can sit up there and give a woman some damn sympathy for what she's going through. But at the same point in time, I mean, Kenya didn't give Portia no damn sympathy when she divorced from Cordell. So, I mean, it's kind of like, okay, well, at the same time, Scotty, that's probably why they don't really feel bad for the bitch. So now, Candy just got back from the Shy. And now she's about to go back out and do some more shit. And Todd has had enough. And I feel like Todd is mad because he feels like like he's put himself on hold for her, and he's not even doing the shit that he's doing. But I don't know. I think it has a lot to do with the shit that people give him. Like, he's widely known as an opportunist or a gold digger. Nobody would have been saying that shit about him if Mama Joyce wasn't putting that shit on blast. And I feel like she's to blame for it. Like, if Joyce never got her ass on TV saying that he was an opportunist and that he really didn't want Candy like that, and that he was just out for her money and all of this other stuff, I feel like if she never would have said that shit, then we wouldn't even be having this conversation, because nobody never would have said that he was an opportunist if she didn't say that. That's how I feel, because, you know, people don't have no mind of their own, and when somebody say one thing, everybody want to run with it. And I personally don't think that he's an opportunist. I don't, because, I mean, he was working with production before he met Candy, so obviously he had a career in production before he met Candy, was already making money before he met Candy. Now, was he making as much money as she was? No. And that's okay, you know, whatever, but that doesn't make him a gold digger. At least Candy, as a wife, is trying to get him, you know, to get him to grow right along with her. That's what you're supposed to do when you're married to somebody. But he, you know, he put his foot down and he basically said you need to be more involved and more intact with your family. Like, you're married to the business, but you're not married to the family. And that's true. That is kind of true now, Candy. You got to find a balance with this. And that's coming between you and your marriage. And that's why it's good that y'all are going into therapy before the shit gets bigger than what the fuck it is. But yeah, y'all, this is my review on the Housewives of Atlanta, y'all. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Scotty_by_nature. Before I go, shots out to the Justice League. Yes, Bitch TV, Every Reviews, Really Be TV, L Teddy 27, my boy, giving you the real tea, and the Cat's Meow. All of my people from the Justice League panel. The last time I said I was going to put their damn links below, I forgot all about it because I fell asleep while the video was edited, and I woke up in the middle of the night and put the video up, so that's why the links wasn't up there. But hopefully I don't forget to put their fucking links at the bottom of the damn video, because I want my people to shine. With that being said, you guys, I'm out of here till my next video. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.